It is indeed 19th day of February 2026. Good morning and a warm welcome to KBC Channel 1 News Check. I'm Ben Troy Njue. Thank you indeed so much for making time. And looking at the Base Check, today we'll be looking at two critical sectors. In the first hour, we'll be looking at this cooperative movement. We'll be looking at the significance, the structure, and also the impact on economic growth. And on the second hour, we'll be making sense of servicing the energy sector, and we'll be keen on how even women can play a central role in this critical sector. And how is it? Renewable energy, a lot to talk about. We'll be making sense of shillings and cents in both the SACCO movement and also the oil and gas industry. Many thanks indeed for joining us and making time. Of course, we can be part of this conversation via all our social media platforms as we are live. And of course, we do look at what is happening in the country and beyond, and we have put a lot of emphasis on the current drought situation in the country, and I have a number of my colleagues who are keeping tabs with what is happening and will be crossing over to know what exactly they have been able to unearth. We will have an update from Wajir, where my colleagues Farah and Aidan are. We have a team in Turkana where Achola is, a drought in Turkana where Kasichana is, and a drought in Kitui where my colleague Kioria and Okware are. We'll be looking at that a little bit. But also a very, very, very critical day for the lawyers in Kenya, and especially for the Law Society of Kenya as they elect their next president. And my colleague from the courts will be giving us a detailed report on that. That is Ruth Wamboi. A lot of ground to cover, but on this first hour, let us look at the cooperative movement. And talking about the cooperative movement, do you know that it was started way back here in the country in 1908? And as we speak, there are over 25,000 SACCOs in the country with 14 million members, contributing about 30% of all the savings in the country, and more specifically and more critically is 30% of the gross domestic product, GDP. They are divided into four structures. We have the primary SACCO, secondary, tertiary, and the apex, and they have invested heavily. You have seen coffee SACCOs, you've seen tea SACCOs, and even border SACCOs as well. So to be honest, they do contribute heavily to our economy and to our growth. Well, Kenya is number one. The Kenya SACCO movement is number one in Africa. Yeah, we couldn't have said that 10 years ago, but now as we speak, we are number one in Africa and arguably top 10 in the world. That and much, much more. Allow me to introduce my guest. My guest is someone that has been in the cooperative movements for many years. I've known him for almost 10 years when I first interviewed him, and he is controlling one of the biggest SACCOs in Kenya and arguably in Africa, because Kenya is number one in Africa with we're talking about asset base of over 64 billion Kenya shillings. And he tells me we are not stopping there. We are looking at 100 billion in the next 2 years, 3 years or so. That is Honorable David Sohelo Mategwa. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Troy, for this opportunity.
Yeah, and it's also good to also notice that you are also conferred with the OGW by the head of state. Karibu sana,
Yes.
Karibu sana, Bwana Chairman.
Asante, thank
It's been
you.
a while now.
Thank you.
I'm just seeing you with very big people from all over the world.
No.
And I know, indeed, you must be doing a good job. But first things first, how is the SACCO movement in your own crystal ball? How do you view the SACCO movement in the Kenya, bearing in mind that you are at the helm of one of the biggest SACCO societies in Kenya, that is the National Police SACCO?
Thank you, Troy, for this opportunity. It's a rare opportunity to get an opportunity to talk to the nation about the sector, the cooperative and the SACCO movement. I want to tell you the way the cooperative movement, especially the SACCO sector, that is doing, I think we have a bright future as we are seeing the regulations and a lot of transformation going on in the sector. And we are seeing the performance. The performance is very, very good. And we have seen the regulator also being strict in terms of how the sector is governed, and also the cabinet secretary's office, the commissioner's office. They have tightened the rules and regulation, and we have also the cabinet secretary sanctioned cooperative experts to look at how our act, the Cooperative Act, the SACCO Act, whether it is still relevant, regulating the current, the modern SACCO movement. Because I can tell you, for the last 10 years, we have seen tremendous growth in terms of assets, in terms of loan portfolio, in terms of people saving the deposits. We have seen it moving very fast. And I can say the SACCO way is the only business model that we trust. And also members trust that. Yes.
And for the purpose of our viewers, I've just mentioned that the cooperative movement is one of the backbones of the Kenyan economy. Yes. How true is this? And talking about 30% of the gross domestic product, this is a third of the Kenya's economy. How do SACCOs contribute to this?
I want to tell you, first I want to correct you. You said police SACCO, the total asset is 64. No, it's 66.
Oh, 66, not
66.4.
66.4
billion.
billion.
Yes, because I know I'm having our annual delegates meeting tomorrow, where we'll be having a meeting with the decision makers, the honorable delegates, who will be attending, and the chief guest will be the cabinet secretary. So that's the time we are releasing that report and giving out the dividend payout. Immediately we just finished the meeting, we'll release 4.1 billion.
4.1 billion
yes.
into the economy?
Yes, in the economy.
We're talking about National Police SACCO alone?
That is National Police SACCO alone. We'll be releasing 4.1. But you see, we are releasing 4.1, but our revenue was 10.7 billion. That's our revenue.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I heard you say you like figures. So yes. The loan book is 55.3 billion. The loan book. Our members have taken the loans. So when you see development going on, our members are buying properties, their members are constructing modern houses, don't be surprised. They have saved their money, they have taken their money from the SACCO. And they have saved also almost 7.4 billion. That is the deposit that they have brought to the SACCO. But you can see that they have borrowed more.
Yeah.
You know, we published our audited accounts, and I saw the conversation on social media. People were looking at it. Some were not believing how those accounts look like. They were even touting. Someone was saying, how comes they earn less and they can do whatever the figures we are saying. No, it is not about the money you earn. It is the discipline, the financial discipline that you have. That the little you get, you save. In Police SACCO, you know, we are picking on your contribution on a percentage. So once you have an increment on your salary, then the percentage moves automatic. So it's 12%, the minimum, 12%. But the members have seen the need. They are above 12%. They are contributing more than 12% because of the capital they are building, and they are able to invest the money.
Yeah. And it's a good thing that you've mentioned that indeed they are really contributing each and every year. We're just scaling up when it comes to our SACCO movement. And despite that, there have been a number of challenges in the SACCO movement. But before we look at the challenges, I would like to know, why do some SACCOs grow into multi-billion shillings institutions while others have collapsed, as you have seen in Kenya in the last couple of years? And why I'm asking, I'm directing this question to you, is that you joined the National Police SACCO in 2013 when you had assets of around 8 billion. And we're talking about only 12, 13 years. You've been able to scale that from 8 billion to 66.4 billion. How exactly have you been able to do this? And what are some of the minefield that you've been able to navigate through?
So the first question, I want to handle your first question where you are saying some are seen growing and others are seen they are going down. I think the only thing I can say is about governance. Governance is the big issue. So we need to make sure that we have good corporate governance in terms of managing members' money. Also, the kind of the leaders that are brought in place, you look at the managers, you look at what is the intention. Why will you want to be a leader? Will you be a leader to serve people, or you want to be a leader to serve yourself? So that makes a big difference. So for us, you have said, I became the chair in 2013 of the SACCO. Yeah, you are right that it was 80 billion. And now it is 66.4 billion. But our strategic plan of 2025 to 2029, we are projecting that by end of 2029, the close of the strategic plan, the SACCO will be more than 100 billion total assets.
You're talking about in the next 3 years?
Yes, yes. And I'm certain that this is going to happen. I'm saying more than 100 billion. It will be more than. So if I say more, it will be maybe 100.5 or 100, you know, it will be more than that. Because if you look at the trend of the growth, 2024 accounts, we were at 59.8 billion. Now, the close of last year, December, we are talking of 66.4 billion. With only the membership of 76,280 members. I have not added those members that the ones that have been recruited in the Kenya National Police Service. The recruitment that happened, those who are in the college, we have not added them. So even when we were looking at the strategic plan, we had not even counted on those who will come on board. So we are now optimistic that we might surpass our projection of 100 billion. Yes.
And I'm looking at SACCOs and how exposed SACCOs are to economic shocks. We do remember we had COVID-19 a couple of years back. We also have inflation as we speak. We also have some job losses, you know, and also policy changes in the SACCO movement. There have been some of the regulations.
Political
environment as well. How exposed are SACCOs?
Yeah, well, you know, like in other financial institutions, SACCOs will also be exposed on that. But what makes the SACCOs survive such a turbulence times? Because we have seen with the experience that every 3 years you realize there is a disruption, either economic meltdown. Or disruption like violence, political violence, politics violence, the Genesis, or the COVID 2019. Nobody anticipated that, but it is like a pattern. You will see. We are also anticipating for another maybe crisis, but what makes the SACCO resilient on surviving those shocks is that, you know, as we save the money in the SACCO, as we also pay our members on the returns of what they have saved, we always do a retention. Every time we pay out, we retain some money. That's why we are so different from other commercial institutions, other financial institutions. We are different because if you look at, I want to give a good example of Police SACCO. During COVID, it was a lockdown, total lockdown. Because we had retained so much, we were prepared, like we were prepared for the worst. We were forced now to save our members by setting aside 100 million to buy those PPE, they were called protective one. Yes. So we were to buy the sanitizers, masks for our members to save them, because if they die, then what will we be doing with the money? So
an intervention of 100 million.
100 million. And that one was not coming from the members' money. It was coming from the core capital, that the money that we have retained, we have capitalized the institution. So the more you capitalize the institution, the more it can withstand any shock. Yes.
Well, I'm looking at some of the systemic weaknesses, because I'm quite sure you're one or of 100 who can, do that. 100 million just for the COVID intervention. And I'm looking at some of the systemic weaknesses that continue to dog this sector. You do remember the Cusco scandal. And what exactly more needs to be done to more or less insulate the SACCO movement?
So I am the current Cusco chair.
You are the current Cusco chair?
I'm the current Cusco chair for the Cusco that did not take people's money. The Cusco that is trying to rectify, transform the institution. Even right now, I came back because of this interview. I was in Mombasa, so I came yesterday just for this interview, and tomorrow also to officiate on the annual delegates meeting. What we are seeing is that the weakness in the system, and I'm happy that the government has gone ahead and they are putting measures in place. They are coming up, changing the law to tighten the regulations of the SACCOs, because they were having some more caps that you can mismanage people's money and walk around freely and use the same money. Also working in offices. So I think the weakness that we had is being rectified by putting in. In fact, we have also a bill in Parliament. If it is if it goes through, then it will also change the way we operate.
You're talking about the cooperative movement bill?
Yes.
And how do you think that we'll be able to assist SACCOs, especially those ones who are struggling?
Yes, because it is coming with so many good things that will make sure that it will, some intervention. When a SACCO is going on, you are likely to notice that there is something wrong going on. And also, if it goes wrong, there is also where we are having a deposit guarantee fund that will be taking care of that. We didn't have that in the sector, which other commercial banks have. We are also seeing some stabilization funds being brought on board. We are seeing a window of willing, with the SACCOs willing. If we see we are going down and we are not able to sustain the way our members want us to move, we can match with so that one will give us an opportunity, SACCOs, to match the acquisition, or if it goes down, the refund. The refund will be, the members will not lose their money. They will be refunded the money back. And also the overnight borrowing. If Police SACCO has more liquid and there is other one has stress in giving their members loan, they can come and borrow overnight from Police SACCO and pay it with an interest. So that the bill is coming with those benefits on how SACCOs are going to operate.
Because the cooperative movement bill was, I think, first tabled in 2024.
Yes. And
it's about 2 years now.
No, it has been, we have been talking about this for the last 15 years.
Yes. But I'm talking about the tabling.
But this time around we are looking at it, it's like, if we don't get it now, I think we'll never get it again. This is the right time to get it.
No, I'm looking at National Police SACCO, and majority of your members are members from the disciplined forces.
Yes.
And talking about 66 billion in saving in assets is something astronomical. How has this discipline from officers also translated to discipline in the savings? Because you're among the top SACCOs in the country.
Yes. It sounds easy, but it's not easy.
It's not.
It sounds when somebody says from discipline.
Especially
members.
financial discipline.
But now, you know, there is that discipline and financial discipline. They are two different things. So I don't order. I don't command. I talk to them. I persuade. We have that language of persuasion and inspire the members to continue saving small, and it grows up. We also talk to them where to put the money. We are doing a lot of education. In fact, our education and training is the strongest pillar that we have that has made us to grow the way we have grown. Because we have actually first built the capacity of the board of directors, the supervisory, the delegates who make decisions. We have built their capacity. We have made sure that the staff, they have current information on what is going on globally. We have exposed them, and we have gone back down to the members. We call forums, regional, national, and international forums, for bring an expert on financial education. Very important. You know, financial literacy has no status. You can earn 4 million a month, but you will be broke if you lose your job. So financial literacy is important. So we are applying to our members. Like this year, we have lined all the regions. We'll go to all the regions, train them, bring an expert who will train them on how to handle money. You know, money, if you get it and you don't know how to handle the money, then money will mishandle you, and you will live a miserable life. So we have lined up a regional top savers meeting. We have a national top savers meeting where we take them through financial literacy, and we are also motivating them. We are sending 10 of them this year to Mexico. That's an international exposure. For them also, those are members, not leaders, members who have saved good money with the SACCO. We are sending them to Mexico, where they will interact with the leadership of SACCOs in Mexico, where they'll also interact with the members in Mexico. Why are we doing this? We are motivating our members that continue saving. Saving is not a poor man's, joining a SACCO is not a poor man's club. In the developed world, they have SACCOs. In the US, very strong movement in the US. Somebody is in the US, is 90 years, he has never seen a door of a bank, because everything he gets in the SACCO, he can get the mortgage in the SACCO, any type of loan, insurance, through the SACCO channels. So that is what we are doing, and that is what has made us, our members, to be disciplined. Now there's a lot of competition. The members are calling that, no, my name is not on the list of those who are going to attend the forum. I say, it's not me. Don't call me. Look at what you have been saving. So I scale it. So they scale it. I'm saying this because I saw somebody was commenting that, where do these people get the money? That they have saved the way they have saved. No. The little the police have, they save. And they change. So we want to move the perception from the public. Because when the public sees a policeman having a nice bicycle, mountain bicycle, or nice vehicle, they think that is corruption. And they look at maybe traffic, they think that the 100 shillings that they want to give a policeman on the road has made the SACCO to be 6.4 billion. I don't agree with that. Because we are actually, they have to look at how they are saving. We were the first SACCO that we introduced a percentage as a minimum. First SACCO in this country. Other SACCOs have now borrowed, but we are already ahead. We are the first SACCO who impressed about ratios. We don't look at the regulators' ratios. We look at the ratios which benefit the SACCO and benefits our members. Our member walks in, applies for 15 million, he gets the same day that 15 million. Tomorrow we are releasing 4.1 billion. If a member comes for 20 million,
dividends.
That is dividend. 4.1, we are releasing tomorrow. If a member comes tomorrow, applies 20 million loan, we'll get the same day. That's how liquid we are. Yeah.
And I'm also looking at where it comes to dispute resolution, and because, of course, even in court we have the alternative dispute resolution, ADRs.
Yes.
And the reason I'm asking this is because I'm also a member of a number of SACCOs, around 2-3 SACCOs.
Yes.
But we have an issue with one SACCO that we have even taken to court.
Yes.
But I believe if at all there are internal dispute resolution mechanisms that members and SACCOs can pursue, then it would save a lot, including the court charges that we have to pay and everything. How can we turn this? Because SACCO are more, we say SACCO are more intimate than
Yes.
banks.
Yes.
They are more closer to the mwananchi than banks.
Yes.
How can we now ensure that the resolution, the dispute that we have, we can amicably resolve them without even turning to the banks or even to the courts?
We don't need to go to court in terms of corporate, because this is a social club. We are people, we know one another. This is we came together willingly. We came together willingly. And we are also told that if you want to leave, also you can leave. So why will we go to courts? We have already the mediation in place. It is there. We have already in the SACCOs, and also the regulator has already told all the SACCOs that you make sure you have dispute resolution in your SACCO. So we don't need, because if you go to court, you are pursuing 100,000, you pay the lawyer, you'll waste a lot of time, and the court cases can take years in court. So what is the objective? Is the objective recovering the 100, or you feel like going to court is a prestige? I think people sitting down and agreeing is the most important solution that we need to impress. Yes.
And I'm also looking at some of the SACCOs that have been put under receivership.
Yes.
And this is something that we are talking about a social club.
Yes.
Where you know exactly the SACCO is telling you how much money we are putting into this project, how
Yes.
much are you getting in terms of dividends. So I'm looking at lessons that have been borrowed from SACCOs going under receivership, so
Yes.
that we may not have the same issues in future as well.
So I think if there is a way that you can avoid that, what you have said, liquidation. If an institution can avoid that thing called liquidation, the members, it will save them a lot, because when it comes to liquidation, imagine all of you have lost. All of you have lost. You will leave asking the liquidator, and the liquidator has the right to sell properties at first price, which is not the value of whatever property you are selling. So if you went to court so that you make that institution go under liquidation, you are going to lose. So the advice is you avoid that going to liquidation. See how you can revive the organization. Because if you revive, if it is breathing, it will be able to speak to you and listen to you and pay you. It will not matter how many years, but at least it will be paying you something. Yes.
And I want to ask about digitization. Before I do, allow me to ask this. Digital lenders and mobile apps have dug into your market and also the bank's market.
Yes.
And I'm looking at where SACCOs are right now.
Yes.
How can we be able to coexist so that none of them becomes obsolete? Digital lenders, MAP, within 5 minutes I can borrow money from not a financial institution,
yes,
but a mobile app.
Yes. Yeah. You see, it has also forced us to up our games in terms of digitalization. It has made us to be saving a lot, to invest a lot in technology. So I think what can only happen is if all of us, we are regulated. We are regulated with the SASRA is a regulator. also the digital, those that are, if they are also regulated, I think we have no problem. Competition is healthy. Competition is healthy. People will choose where to get the money. Yes.
And still on the digital transformation, which
Yes.
are some of these digital initiatives that your SACCO has taken as a National Police Deposit-Taking SACCO to ensure that you stay afloat, just like you said, there's space for everyone?
Yes, you know, we have improved our system whereby our members can withdraw their money wherever they are. They can apply money wherever they are on the app as a loan, and they pay. Second, they can also register. You know, the young people, they are allergic to papers. They are not ready to fill a form. So we have the app, they can also register as members digitally. And they can receive the message, and they'll be told how to pay, to start paying in the SACCO. And that is what the young people are looking for. Because we are looking at also the SACCO membership. We are seeing the aging membership. So we need to attract the youth, the young people, and those who are also opening accounts for the young people. They should be coming with them to the SACCO. When they take their children to school, they should go to the SACCO and get the loan, and this kid should understand that this money came from the SACCO. So some of the members, they don't. They don't show their children that the money they are taking to school is coming from the SACCO. So that is how we want to continue increasing the membership and attracting the young people.
Yeah. And I've seen banks, you know, diversify into financial products, including into shares, into brokerage. How can SACCOs diversify into new financial products to not only stay afloat in the digital space, but also to stay competitive?
I think if you can do a research on the top 4 SACCOs, you will realize that they are playing in the league of those financial institutions, because they have introduced those products that
were only in banks.
Yeah, they were only in the banks, but now they are also in those SACCOs. And the reason why they will they can compete with other financial institutions is about the technology. They are able to procure a robust technology that will withstand the current times. Because if you look at what we did 2 years ago, if you continue doing the same thing, you'll be left behind in business. You need to make sure that you scale, you make sure you improve, you transform whatever product you have, you look at it, you continue coming up with more products to attract people.
The market is becoming dynamic. You know, we're also trading in other things like Bitcoins.
Yes.
We're talking about something that we never used to do 15, 20 years ago.
Yes.
But now, from where you sit, as also not only as the chair of National Police SACCO, but also at Cusco,
Yes.
which urgent reforms must the cooperative movements undertake now to ensure this industry not only regulated but stays afloat? Because we have seen, as I've mentioned earlier, we've seen some things that we wouldn't want to go there in terms of SACCO and finances. Where people are losing money, we don't want to go there. So which urgent reforms do you believe are required now in the SACCO movement in Kenya?
I think, you know, if you hear something has happened to a SACCO, it rotates within the leadership of the SACCO. If you hear the SACCO is going down, it's just about the leadership, the board, the management. So, and this is what I've seen already, the government has taken measures already. We need to make sure that who is going to lead this organization? Who is Matekwa? Who is this person? You understand the person. The person wants to be employed as a CEO. Where has this person been? What is the history? Has he also been a CEO of another financial institution? If yes, what happened to that institution? Yes, those vetting issues, I think they should be taken with the urgency, for us to save the sector and also save the country, because as the SACCOs save, it makes the country grows economically, because we have money saved within. Instead of borrowing outside, we can borrow from inside and leverage on things. When they're making roads, they can also get private from the SACCOs also. They can come together and be part of the development agenda. Yes.
And how does your SACCO ensure that you protect your members from over borrowing? And even some debt traps, you find yourself, somebody has already done the past their third of his or her payslip.
Yes. So for us, we are strictly making sure that at that is left. We don't make sure that our members overborrow. But we will give them other ways. We give them other alternative to you have another business. Bring your business through the SACCO, then you can borrow based on the business you are doing. So we make sure that they are not over borrowing. Yes. And
how do you balance this? You know, the way you've been able to rise in the last like 10, 15 years is not the way that some SACCOs are, you know, it's not the same pace that some SACCOs are taking. And we know when it comes to the transport sector, now we have, you know, you have to be registered in a SACCO if it's a border or even a vehicle. How does this also bring a new challenge, especially to KUSCO, to regulate these very, very small SACCOs? You find the SACCOs, you know, 10, 20 borders.
So I think that limit is already there, because, you know, the government has freezed the registration of new SACCOs.
Yeah, because we have about 25,000 now.
Now, let me shock you, because the information we are getting through the corridors, from the Commissioner's office corridors, that the 25,000 you are mentioning here might not be the case. Because I told you data is very important. Making sure that you have the correct data for you to plan. So we have been reporting 14,000. When the Commissioner wrote a letter that all SACCOs should send the returns within this period, I'm told only 2,800 have responded. So that tells you...
I think that's 1% or something. It's less than 10%.
You know, Kenya is small. Kenya is a small country and small population. Having 25,000, because I'm talking like this based on the exposure that we have, we can see the population of US, the population. They only have 400 SACCOs.
400?
Yes.
And a population of about 330 million.
300 million people in the US. They have only 400 SACCOs. And every day, there are marches going on. Every day in the US, there are marches going on. The regulator advises, it seems like you are having financial stress. It might not... You might not survive in the coming 2 years. Can you start a process? Look for a partner, for somebody, for the SACCO that you can match with, so that because they are protecting the members. You might, the important thing here is the member. Member is the person that should be protected. So that is why. So we have just realized that 2,800 are the ones who have returned. So what happens to the rest? It means the Commissioner has to do a lot of work, the cleanup, to understand why were we reporting these numbers. And I'm told that registering a SACCO will not be easy, because the law that is there is that here we are already 3. We just look for other 7 people. We have formed a SACCO, but I'm told it's going to be difficult. The report I've seen is that it's proposing, if you want to register a SACCO, you must come with 1,000 people.
1,000 people?
Yes. And for me, I'm comfortable with that, because what is the objective? Do we want a SACCO? There are so many SACCOs. Can you choose which one you can join? Other than forming small SACCOs that are not making economic sense. Yes. Because when it comes to procuring a system, technology is good. Technology is the driver of business, but technology is expensive. So if you are a few, can you manage to procure a system?
I think, Chair, it makes a lot of sense. America, with over 330 million people, has 400 SACCOs.
Yes.
Kenya, with about 60 million people, has about 25, actually over 25,000 SACCOs.
The largest SACCO in the world is Navy Credit Union, the U.S. Navy Credit Union, with 10.5 million members. 10.5 million members. You can tell me, when I talk about 76,000, I don't introduce myself to them, the membership I have. Why, will you introduce, because they are my friends. Yeah. We interact with them, they have visited even our SACCO. I can't tell them the membership. 10.5 million members, and I am talking of less than 100,000. So we need the mergers. We agree whether Mateko will be on supervisory, because leadership becomes a problem. Well, if police SACCO merges, well, then I lose my position as the chairman. Maybe that is personal. Yes, we look at the bigger picture.
To also be able to protect the deposits of members.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm also looking at how we facilitate SACCOs to borrow from each other through maybe a central clearance system.
Yes, central liquidity fund.
Are we expecting that the bill we will also factor in, or even is the bill factoring in
it is
this?
There.
Or we don't even need the law, the bill to become law, so that we may be able to implement this?
We need the bill, because what will be my remedy if I give a loan to SACCO A and then SACCO A defaults? What will be my remedy? So we need the law. We need that act,
the legal framework,
which is in the bill, that the SACCO liquidity fund will be created, that will be handling the overnight borrowing of SACCOs, so that all SACCO members in the country, they get the services as fast as possible. Yes.
Let's shift focus to matters youth. We did see the Gen Z, if the Gen Z is the way they came out in 2024 and 2025, if they were coming out in these large numbers to maybe to organize themselves into a SACCO or something, that would be something quite formidable. How have you been able to rope in the youth? Because you find a lot of savings that actually, if you look at the Apex savings, it's being done by their parents or the people who've been saving for decades. How are you roping in the youth into the SACCO movement?
I can shock you, because was it last year we went to Brazil with the 10 top savers, and 2 of them were youth, were 35 and 38 years old. So for us, like now, we have more than 10,000 recruited. Those are youth. Those are the youth that were on the streets. They have now been employed as police officers. We will go to where they are in the college before they finish their training. We will sit with them. We will talk to them. We will present to them. We will show them how to register digitally, and how it's important for them to save. And because we want them also, the youth, to understand that patience also is base. You can't want to live good life without being patient. Those people they are seeing that are driving big cars, some of them, they did not even steal the money the way the perception people have. They saved. They did not have that lifestyle. They lived in 1 bedroom. They saved until now they are able to buy, because you save and invest. Don't just save. You save and invest in an area that will also multiply. You know, the problem is, don't put your money in the account. Don't put the money in a bank just to be there to tell people I have 2 million. Save money in the SACCO, take a loan, save. Where after 2 years, the money will have multiplied. That's what we are looking for. Yes.
Yes. And
so the youth, we talk to them, we tell them how important it is. We chat with them. We wear I don't wear a suit when I go where they are. I wear like them. I have to have sneakers, jeans, the t-shirt, and also be flexible, dance with them, and remove the word chairman, so that we are now the same. Yes.
I'm also looking at, that's a very noble task if you're going for the youth as soon as they join the,
Yes.
the training at the National Police. And which is the other bulk members that you have other than officers? Because someone will argue, you know, the police force has over 40,000 police officers, and maybe everyone is, you know, going to the National Police SACCO.
Yes.
And have you been able to maintain the number? You know, 76,000 members is not something small.
So I can tell you, we have not been recruiting for the last, I think, 3 years or 4 years. We have not, the police have not been recruiting. And every year, the SACCO has been recruiting 4,000, not less than 4,000 members, 3,000 to 4,000 members. Where are these members coming from? They are coming from the general public, the Kenyans, because we open the common bond. We allow everyone to attend. I can tell you, we have doctors, we have local people in the SACCO, we have other sectors, we have business people, we have youth joining us, because, you know, and we don't even go out saying, come, come. They come. They are able to locate us on social media. They are able to come to our offices who are able to come. They are given, because we have trained also our members on financial coaching. They are able to sit, advise those who want to join, advise those who are taking a loan, where to take the money. Because we don't want also to give a loan and we don't know where you are taking the loan. We want this loan to go and multiply so that you can come for more money, you do your own and progress. Yes.
I'm also looking at the SACCOs that have collapsed in the last couple of days, and I totally concur that in a population of about 60 million people, 25,000 is on the higher side in regards to that, because, you know, you have small SACCOs as opposed to you ganging up and making one formidable SACCO. I'm also looking at SACCOs that have collapsed. What should be, because you've been in the industry for a number of years, what should be the first telltale signs for a SACCO that, you know, is not doing well and it could be collapsed? And do you believe that SACCO leaders who have been personally liable for the loss of money, should they be held to account?
Probably. The answer is as good as yours, because how can you take people's money and you expect to walk on the street? You know, this money that we are reporting as millions, these are monies from the lower quarter, saving 3,000. You know, this person has just, he cannot do any other thing by saving that money. It's a sacrifice. And you just take it once, you know, 3,000 over time. You just, as a leader or any manager or somebody, you just come and wipe the money out and live lavish life. I think it is not good. They have to account for what they have done.
And as Cusco, are you pursuing that as well?
You see, as the chairman, I'm not the one to pursue on...
as the organization now?
No. You know, we have done what we were supposed to have done. We wanted to know what happened. We sanctioned the PWC. They came up with a forensic report. Then we gave the government. So it is not me. It is the government. The responsibility is on the government side to pursue those who mismanaged, not me.
Yeah, and prosecution.
Me,
because
for my side, people are looking at me. How do you transform this thing to start breathing, to start giving out services, to start defending the sector, start those who have lost it? Can you get some recoveries and give us small money? That's what they are expecting from me, but not for me to prosecute anybody.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
Okay, and we'll be telling us how SACCOs, and especially your SACCO, are making it into technology and also cybersecurity. Okay, we wanted to cross over to Tana River County, but before then, kindly answer me this question: what investment you have made in regards to cybersecurity and also technology? Because you have seen, I've seen somebody like me, deepfakes, and reading news, and it wasn't me. So, and we have had banks and even some of the SACCO societies, because when it comes to technology, it's both a two-sided knife because it can cut on both sides.
Yes.
Just both the good and can be used to siphon funds.
Yes.
How is the SACCO movement preparing for the cybersecurity war that has just started?
So what I can say is that the SACCOs, the preparedness they are supposed to do is that set money, good money for cyber, set money for technology, because technology keeps on changing. It can be obsolete within 2 years. You need to have the budget in place to make sure that you continue updating your and making sure that you put the firewalls, make sure that you protect the members' money. You use the money to protect that money. Or if you don't, you keep the money, they wipe everything for you. So I think on our side, we have done a lot. We have sensitized our members. We do always put money aside for technology. Keep on updating and new technology, the AI, putting AI in place just to help us to understand what is going on. Unless people will hack you and you are not aware because you have no tools to realize that you don't have money. You'll be seeing the leakage. You don't have money, but you don't know where the money is going. So you need at least to have robust technology that will alert you.
Yeah, and before you tell us about the future of the SACCO movement and also of the National Police deposit-taking SACCO, still on the same in terms of technology, how are you as the SACCO movement also protecting the data of Kenyans? Because we have seen this is something that is also keen on Kenyans, and especially when it comes to banking institutions, you know, health, you know, you remember SHA landed into some issues, people worried about the protection of their data.
Yes. So for us, we know there is that data protection. And we have made sure that we have sensitized all our staff, all our leadership, the members, the delegates. We have sensitized the board to understand about data protection. So for us, any data that we handle, we protect it. We know the consequence of not protecting the data. As we collect the data, we know how to keep it and to make it more secure. Yes, away from the bad boys.
And also there's something that I've noticed, because I told you we have a case with one of the SACCOs in court, and especially when it comes to the computation of the dividends. You know, some of the things that, you know, I think, just like you said, alternative dispute resolution methods are far much better than the legal process. And I'm looking at also the governance issues, but allow me just to cross over to my colleague Kasichana Masha. Kasichana Masha, together with editor Judith Akolo, are looking at the drought situation in the great county of Tana River. Now I can see her on screen now. Good morning, Kasichana. What more can you tell us? What is the situation in Tana River County?
Yes, good morning, Ben Troy. I hope you have from them to carry very, very light clothes. So we are here just assessing in the county. And yesterday we managed to visit a particular village within the county in Gao, whereby a section of residents and farmers were lamenting the invasion of elephants who have been traveling all the way from Voi coming towards the Tana River and within the residential area just in search of food and water. But that has caused mayhem between now the residents who are within that area, declaring that now their crops have been destroyed. They also fear for their lives, and even children are unable to even go to school in the morning and even coming back home in the evening because of the elephants intervention. But we just want to hear from the KWS senior warden just to be able to explain what is happening and what are they doing to address the issue. Hi, habari yako, karibu in Tana River.
Good morning. My name is Arbakari George, the Senior Warden at Kenya Wildlife Service, Tana River County. In Tana River, for now we are experiencing high rate of wildlife conflict This is due to the prolonged drought in the county. We have elephants coming as far from Voi, that is from Savos, to our area. In Tana River, we also have elephants which crisscross the country, the county, and the nearby county, which is Lamu. We have Kipini Ranch, Lamu, and part of it is in Tana River. We also have elephants which cross our county. The most causes of human-wildlife conflicts in Tana River is drought, is obstructions. The area has a lot of farming in the area, and this has resulted to bush clearing. And as we resides in the bushes, but most of the bushes in Tana River have been cleared for farming, hence giving elephants to move out from those areas which have been cleared to the locals. Hence, we also have the competition between resources, that is and pastoralists. But we also have the Somalis who are and graze the bushes where we have our wildlife. This has contributed
we do apologize for that technical hitch and in getting that feed from Kasichana Masha live from the Tana River County. But just in a nutshell is that the drought situation is so bad that it has now forced animals, including elephants, to now cross over from Savo to Tana River all the way. And you can see the human-wildlife conflict, as usual, sometimes brought by this drought, but we will be getting more in regards to that on the animal and also on the humans, on the human bit. But just in case you joined us, we are looking at the SACCO movement and also looking at the structure, significance, and even the impact on economic growth, bearing in mind that it covers about 30% of our GDP and also contributing about 30% of all the national saving. And in studio with me as we wrap up this conversation is David Mategwa, OGW, who is a chairperson, Kenya National Police Deposit Taking SACCO. And as we wrap up, I'm looking at now the national. A lot of people are watching this conversation because members of SACCOs, members of the National Police SACCO, yes, and also people who want to just pick 2 or 3 pearls of wisdom in regards to how to run a successful SACCO. Yes. How do what are the leadership philosophy that guides National Police SACCO and that you've been able to carry along from when you had 8 billion to now you're headed to 100 billion?
I think in leadership, we come in leadership to serve, mm-hmm, and not to the other way around. You find yourself in leadership just to serve people. Mm-hmm. When you serve your people and you hear their problems have been sorted out, mm-hmm, you feel good, because other than serving yourself and the SACCO suffering. Mm-hmm. So for us, I think we were focused on the member. Mm. Yeah.
Member-centered.
Member-centered, it's member-centric. Mm. That is where our focus is. That is why we will do everything possible to make sure that our members are able to take their children to school. Very important. We make sure that also we contribute to the community, like a CSR, mm-hmm, where like a good example is a school, Girls School in Kilkil, Utumishi Girls, we have done a massive project there, 9 classrooms, just to make sure that culture is in school. Even the boys, we have also done very well. We have done them protection, like the boys can sneak in phones, drugs. We have done a security kit for them. And we always motivate them by buying them computers, laptops for those who have performed well to motivate the others. We have done like the social way, the sports. We have done the stadium. If you are passing on Express Highway at South Sea, you'll see Police Sacco Stadium. It was done by the Sacco and handed over to the government. This is being used by the community. We are doing we have done a modern gym in Kenya Police College. It's a campus, a main campus in Kiganjo. We have done a modern gym for them. Since it was inception, it had not had any gym. We are now doing saluting dias at a big campus, that is Jeshi Training School. We have done we are opening it soon. It is already finished. We are just waiting for the day to open it. Yes. So those are the contribution. If you see it, you will see. If you see that that dais, you will see the Singapore way of
the Singapore gym is there.
The Singapore gym is in Kiganjo. The Singapore dais is in Jeshi Training School.
Yeah.
The stadium is there. A very nice ground, recommended by FIFA.
Okay.
That, yes.
I see you're taking the Singapore dream to a whole new level.
No, for us, we are already on that journey of Singapore.
Okay.
The best practice.
Yes.
We want to make sure, and you will see it.
Okay.
Yes.
And now, as we wrap up, I just give you 1 minute still for your closing statement. And also, you know, you have the ADM tomorrow, so you can speak to your members now. Yes,
I want to thank my honorable members of the Kenya National Police SACCO, and thank them for the support that they normally give the SACCO and their contribution, their economic participation to the SACCO. Tomorrow will be the day, and I want to assure you that 4.1 billion will be released according to how you have been saving yourself, not the percentage that you are looking for. We are paying 11% on deposit and 17% on share capital. So it is you to increase your savings, not the SACCO to increase the percentage. You will remain at that. So use the money that you are going to get as dividend wisely. It is money that you should reinvest, and also which will help you during your sunset days. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
And I want to also to appeal to the entire public that this SACCO is open to you. Join it. We have a branch in Eldoret, branch in Meru, branch in Nyeri, branch in Mombasa, branch in Kisi.
Spring Festival, with its origins in the last days of winter thousands of years ago, when every family lit a welcoming fire. Today, that welcome is brought to the stage of the CMG Spring Festival Gala. This is where it gets cool. When the future meets timeless Eastern aesthetics. This is where we feel the warmth. When every voice has a story to tell, and every voice is heard. And this is where the celebrations heat up. When the excitement blazes across mountains and seas. In China, around the world, wherever you are, when the CMG Spring Festival Gala begins, you are coming home.
Mnaniletea vitu ni sign na vitu kama hii kama sasa hii imerudi. Who is going to stand for that? Nani atalipa hiyo? Mnafanya delaying tactics hapa kama mtaki kufanya kazi mseme.
Anza kubeba makaratasi ukileta hapa. Watoto wako uliwafundisha tabia mbaya tangu uko kwako.
Wafikiri tutaendelea kuishi hivi mpaka lini? Mimi siyawezi kabisa. Naona hapo tunafikia, tuachie hapo hapo. Hata kama ni kusulubika, fadhali nikasulubike kwangu mwenyewe.
Huja nikosea, ndio. Wala huja mkosea Amina kusema acha wavunje nyumba yetu, ndio. Ni ya nini huyu bibi yake wamfanya kama mtoto mdogo ndani ya nyumba?
Mimi sijamfanya kama mtoto mdogo, nimemfanya nini?
Amini kuwa wewe wamsimanga bibi yake kwako hapa pamoja na watoto. Kama sijui ni kitu gani umekosa hapa ndani ya nyumba.
Wasikia uchungu sana akisimangiwa.
Sana.
Welcome back to Semana Spokes.
Semana Spokes is the platform where Wananchi engage, query the government, and the government responds. It's your time to be informed. Don't miss Bonga na Gava every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
Semana Spokes.
Parents and caregivers of children with disabilities often face intense stress, guilt, and trauma. Unfortunately, in many settings, mental health services and support care system for caregivers is limited or non-existent. This leads
We live in a generation where we love trends, we love vibes, we love following what is happening on social media, on TikTok. What is vibe? When you hear the word vibe, what do you really think about?
It's very much being in your comfort zone to me.
It's a feeling that is enjoyable for you in the situation that you're in.
Yes, something can feel right, can feel fun. Yo, Kenya umesema, and not be right. Yes.
Whenever you find yourself questioning a specific trend, I think that's your conscience telling you this is not right.
Welcome back to KBC News Check, and first and foremost, allow me to apologize for that tail end of the first hour. We had some challenges in our technical side, but we have rectified that, and now we are back to the conversation. Just like I mentioned earlier on as we began, we'll be looking at the energy sector. Looking at the energy sector, we'll be hosting Susan Siombua Kioko, who is the oil and gas consultant and also a key market player at Desman Energies. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Well, to begin this conversation, I will say that women, when it comes to the energy space, have not been quite proactive and have not been given the opportunity that they need, because I'm looking at the statistics here about 15. There was a webinar that was co-hosted by Africa Oil and AMP, and it identified one, education, gender bias, access to capital as key inhibitors, especially for women in regards to the energy sector, and also showed that their participation is quite low as compared to their male counterparts. And one of the issues docking this is access to education, particularly in science, technology, engineering, and math. But she is in the industry herself. So, karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Yes, and before we look at the space of women or the role of women in the energy sector, let's first of all look at the sector itself. We have seen a number of changes and a number of promises, which are quite promising. Because I'm looking at, we had the tallow oil. We were excavating oil in Turkana. A number of things played out, but to cut the whole long story short, next year we could be back to drilling, and we've also seen some. We're also looking at renewable energy. I heard there's some, I think it's in some part in Mombasa where we're supposed to be having a nuclear power plant.
Yeah, actually.
So a lot is happening.
A lot is happening actually in that sector.
Yes.
Yeah.
From where you sit, where are we as a country when it comes to energy?
We are not keen on exploration, and some of the things touch on the innovative side that the government is trying to inject in that department or in that side. What I can say, in any industry, without facilities, it is very hard to explore that department to the core. And I think much can be done. Much is yet to be done. We are only on the setups. We've not even scratched on the startups in terms of now exploring or mining in that sector,
And we're talking about Kenya, and you've been in the space for quite a while. We know Uganda, you know, the oil passes through Kenya. You know, we also sell products to the region. From where you sit, from an oil and a gas perspective, where does Kenya realistically sit in the region? Because we have seen a practical example. We have fuel in Ethiopia, Uganda, and Tanzania being a little bit cheaper than here in Kenya. Yes, we are a bigger economy and a much stronger economy.
You see, what determines the pricing in terms of the fuel that comes into the country are the kind of duties and taxes that you've imposed. So in all these other market players or importers, let's say other countries like Uganda, maybe they have been able to watch and preserve in, the costings in terms of taxes. But for example, in our country currently, we have duties which are so high and taxes which have also prohibited the market players from investing within the country.
Yeah, and allow me just to mention this. It's not quite related to oil, but report reaching us is that Pest Control Product Board, that is PCPB, confiscated unauthorized and counterfeit products in Lodwar, Turkana. Some of the products confiscated were banned in 2013 with a street value of $250,000, that is 250,000 shillings. And it's quite significant because just this week on Monday, they did announce that the Gladiator 4TC that was banned from the market in 2021 has come back albeit in its counterfeit. So we are also keeping tabs with that, and we'll be getting you a much detailed and loaded report in regards to this. But for now, we continue with our conversation on servicing the energy sector, and a report that came out just a couple of months ago is that the Gulf Energy will be back to drilling perhaps in December of 2026. How significant is this? Kenya's back to the exploring of oil and gas.
You see, exploring oil is different from processing it. You can still explore, but still take it outside for refining. So still, we are still where Tullow oil was. And when I say this, the facilities that we have set up are not ready to comply with the refining of that same oil that we are drilling. So it's still, how do I say, a 1-1 still step, but we are hoping the facilities can be improved so that we can see our own oil refined within our own country. Yeah.
And in that Pest Control Product Board report that I have just read to you, my director Jackie Wasolo informs me that we actually have the videos of that exercise. Let's first of all cross over to Turkana and see what exactly PCPB are doing in terms of confiscating of products that were banned in 2013.
were able to arrest 5 suspects, the major suppliers within the town. And they were presented to the court today for judges against, for contravening the act. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, just an extract, but we'll be giving you a much detailed report in regards to that. And just to inform you that we are keeping tabs with the drought situation in the country. And I have colleagues who are in different counties in Wajir, Turkana, Tana River. We did speak to Kasichana Masha. She was talking about with the KWS, where we do there are fears of wildlife and human conflict in regards to this drought, as animals just come out of the dry regions to where people live in search of the precious commodity. And we also have my colleague JJ Kyoria and Okware in Kitui County. Of course, more than half of Kenya's counties, over 20 counties, are facing severe drought situation. The government releasing funds each and every week to ensure that people do not die of starvation. But away from that, allow me just to go back to this conversation where we are looking at the energy sector, and I'm hosting Susan Siombua Kioko, who is an oil and gas consultant at Desman Energies, which is a key market player in the market. I'm talking about Desman Energy. What exactly are we talking about? We talk about the energy options that we have. We're talking about also renewable energy, or it's strictly oil and oil products?
This is strictly oil and oil products, and more specifically also in diesel. Knowing our economy runs on the diesel component a lot. We can maybe say around 70-30% within the market share. Yeah. So basically what we are doing is bulk reselling and distributing within our country. Yeah.
And I remember when it came to us drilling oil, maybe for Kenyans who do not exactly understand, what exactly happened to the deal that we had with Talo, that we shelved it, and now we are reviving that project. What exactly played out that made us stop exploring oil in Turkana?
You see, unlike any other market industry, a lot is invested in exploration. And when such investors get into our country and they're not given the proper support in terms of even subsidized components that add to the total cost of exploration, that is why now they realize that the profits and the margins expected from such an investment will not be realized until a certain time, which takes long or stretched periods. So somehow I could say maybe the investor was not properly supported. Yeah.
And talking about the energy mix, in Kenya we are currently using a number of energy options, including wind and also fossil fuels. I'm looking at, when we talk about oil in Turkana, and now we have started, refocusing our energies and our attention in Turkana, and we are also a regional leader when it comes to geothermal, wind. Do we run the risk of, putting our emphasis and focus on oil and forgetting that we have been quite consistent in terms of renewable energy?
I should say yes. The consistency in terms of making renewable energy a home usage or a country dependable asset has been weak for the last few years. But with the technology and the evolvement in terms of what we should be moving from to where, I can see there is a lot of focus on that side. So for me, I can say there is not much effort that has been put. We have forgotten that we have a lot of other different forms of energy. And I can say it is also a good progress, because we've seen even some of the cars that come inside the country, they are using electricity. So meaning we are still advancing as time needs. Yeah.
And there has been growing concerns and also calls for us to be refining our own, oil products right here. Or should we stick to, importing? And
you see, currently we are struggling with our own collection in terms of taxes. So all the investments that need to be done on that sector are quite heavy. So we need to analyze what are our priorities. Do we need to start exploring oil? Do we start a refinery? We've seen Dangote do a really much exceptional work in Nigeria. So do we say that is exceptional in our country? They didn't focus on drilling of oil, but they focused on the refining. You understand?
Yeah.
So even if we say we are going to drill this oil, we will still have to export it outside for it to be refined, then we are given back our product. Don't you think that is a double cost? For me, that is my thinking.
Yeah. So we should just stick to, you know, importing the...
For now, we should be working on the refining.
Refining.
Yes. Since the oil is there,
yes.
Do we have the facilities? If we don't have the facilities, why put much headache in terms of drilling? Who will be benefiting on the oil that is drilled within the country? Those are the questions that we need to be asking ourselves. Yeah.
And I do remember we had a G2G. I don't know whether we still have the G2G with Saudi Arabia.
It's still there, yeah, and it's operational.
It was signed, I think, it was spearheaded by the former ousted deputy president.
Yeah.
But now we will be, in the next couple of months, we'll also be drilling our own oil.
Yeah.
Will this bring some relief to the pumps? Because I do remember during his presser, he said that it's supposed to bring, you know, ease the demand for the dollar, because we're paying with Kenya shillings, and also it was supposed to bring down the cost of energy in the country. Do you think us having our own oil will bring down the costs, or it's just business as usual?
You see, you can have the oil, but you're not refining it. So I'm still going back again to the cost-effective projects. If we are going to drill the oil and have it refined from other countries and still have it back within our own country, I don't foresee any cost-effective project there. So for me, I would still be focusing or emphasizing on having a facility that can refine. Then from there, we can change the conversation in terms of drilling. Yes. The G2G, yes, it gave us a lot of relief in terms of the dollar fluctuations. And we can say, so far, so good, because we've not had the massive dollar hikes that we had seen in 2024. So should we say that is a good progress? Yes. Yeah.
And I know, you know, oil and anything oil has a huge impact on communities and livelihoods. And looking at the webinar, and I've read some of the participants what they were saying, we need to have more women in this industry, and I'm thankful that I'm hosting you on this program. But their participation has been quite low, and especially in Kenya. Is what should be the next frontier? Because women, a lot of women are not doing the STEM subject, just like the report showed. And even if you are in the oil sector, you'll find somebody will tell you, I work for Desmond Energies. But you find that lady either HR, reception, or even marketing, you know, but not into the drilling and the export business itself.
But currently, we don't have the drilling.
Or the business itself.
Yeah, it's just the business itself. In fact, all oil marketers are into distribution. That is what I can say. We have 0% in drilling. Every market player currently is into distribution. Whether you do it in small bulks, whether you do it in big volumes, it's still distribution. So for now, no one is doing the drilling. We are having the investors coming in to drill on our behalf. And that is where we are missing the gap. How can we incorporate the market players with the opportunities that we have to have them drill on our behalf? Dangote was not an unknown investor in his own country. But he made sure he was facilitated and given the environment to make sure he has partnered with other investors so that they can see the project prosper.
But we don't have many women in the energy sector in the country.
It's a quite intensive fair because it is quite capital intensive. But I'm also happy with what banks are doing currently. They are really into supporting women-owned businesses. And that probably that is where now they should start stepping into because we have a lot of tailor-made financial options for women. Yes.
And now the whole world is emphasizing on zero emissions, away from fossil fuel, renewable energy. How can Kenya balance fossil fuel? Because we cannot wish them away, at least not yet. We have seen electric vehicles in the last couple of years, but we are not there yet. How can we balance fossil fuel and renewable energy?
Still, the whole effect boils down to the costings. The reason you've seen a lot of electricity vehicles into the country is because they're saving quite a lot vis-a-vis using diesel. So, and even if we would have a lot of electric vehicles, or if we would be focusing on the other forms of energy, what are the facilities that have been laid down to accommodate such growth? So, currently, we don't have a lot of electric power points for the even vehicles that are coming in. So, or even if they are using gas, we are not seeing much in terms of facilities toward that side. And what I can advise people, that is also a market gap that is that can be explored currently.
Yeah, and allow me just to interrupt, and we need to cross over to Kitui. We have been keeping tabs with the drought situation in the country, and a number of my colleagues are in various counties just to bring us the picture of how things are and some of the intervention maybe by government and other agencies in regards to this biting drought. Let's cross over to Kitui County. Two of my colleagues, that is JJ Kioria and Nancy Okware, I can see her on the screen just to bring us up to date with what is happening. Over to you, Nancy.
Well, a very good morning to you, Ben Troy Njue. We are coming to you live from the Kitui Training Institute right here in Kitui town. Now, we are here because our drought coverage that started on Monday right here in Kitui County and, of course, other counties in the country will be culminating at this institute. Now, this is where we will be holding a town hall session later on in the evening just to give the members of the public and, of course, the various stakeholders in this county a chance to speak and air their grievances in terms of what they have been facing when it comes to the drought situation in the country. And of course, we've been talking to members of the public, and what we can tell you is that they already know what needs to be done by the various duty bearers to ensure that the food situation in the country is improved and that the country is well prepared to ensure that in the future we do not have such crisis. Now, this is the Kitui County Multi-Purpose Training Institute, and of course that will be happening later on in the evening where we'll be having a mini town hall. But again, we have been compiling a number of stories, just highlighting the plight of the county, what the area residents have been facing, given that Kitui is one of the counties that have been listed as being on the alert phase when it comes to the drought situation that has been occasioned by the failed rains in the season running from October, November, all the way to December. Yesterday, we had a chance to speak to the county commissioner, that is Erastus Mbui. He told us so far close to 200,000 people in this county are in dire need of food. And of course, they have been receiving food assistance from the various stakeholders, including the Ministry of Special Programs. And of course, the commissioner told us the focus has been on those who are in dire need of food and those who will not be able to survive without food. Now that includes children and of course, women, the elderly, people with disability, among others. And he told us Mwingi North is one of the areas that have been greatly hit by the drought, with over 39,000 people facing, food shortages, hence the need for them to be supplied with food. And of course, we've been traversing the county. We've seen the devastating effects of the drought, running from, failed crops. Like yesterday, we visited a farm And we spoke to the farmers. They told us that after planting in October last year, they were anticipating rains, but the garden, the farm was actually bare. You could not even imagine that there's something that had ever been planted there, meaning that the failed rains have indeed failed the farmers. And of course, the search for water is also another task, as they have to trek for kilometers in search of water. Those are some of the stories we'll be highlighting at 9 p.m. when we'll be airing our special bulletin on the drought situation in this county. We'll also be addressing the state of insecurity, especially in Musenge area in Kitui South. We've been talking to some of the residents just to know what they've been going through. For now, it's back to you in studio.
Nancy Okware giving us an insight in regards to the drought situation in that county, and more specifically what will be hosted as a roundtable county discussion that will be there this evening, where locals can air their views and also their grievances in regards to this drought situation and some of the mitigation factors. There will be a roundtable that will also encompass leaders. That is a discussion that you don't want to miss, because we will be live as well. Very well, just in case you joined us, we are live from the broadcasting house and also live on all our social media spaces. We are servicing the energy sector with an emphasis on the distribution. And I'm hosting Susan Siombua Kioko, an oil and gas consultant at Desman Energy's market players, distribution chain market players here in the country. And we're trying to put things into perspective, and especially in the wake of Kenya's now, eyeing, do you remember the Turkana? Yes, we are looking at Turkana in a way that could help not only the economy, but also everybody in the value chain, including distributors just like Susan. Well, let's look at the distribution chain when it comes to oil in Kenya. How exactly, for the layman like me, how does it exactly happen? Because we only hear of the market prices, crude per barrel. It comes to Mombasa, it's refined, and the next time your vehicle is being pumped up with gas. Okay. Basically, what is happening within our country, it's importation. So we have the refineries or the refiners. Yes. Now that is where Saudi Arabia comes in. Then from there, now we have our own market players who are termed as OMCs. These are oil marketing companies. They are the importers now. Once they link themselves to the refineries. Now, that's how they're able to access the commodity. Now, from that OMCs, or from the OMCs, they're able to import the oil into the country based on the taxes or the regulated need or parameters in terms of quality. So, from there now, we have now people like us who are we bridge. We are still oil marketers, but we can still bridge the oil marketers then to the resellers. Now, from resellers, now that's when you see the other distributors and market players like the petrol stations. Yeah. So you pick the oil from the OMCs who have brought it to the port, and then you distribute it just like any other big company that is, We are part of the OMCs, we are part of the importers, but still we do distribution now to the resellers. Yeah. There are some of the OMCs who don't sell within the country. Them is just to bridge the product between the refineries and the country. Yeah. And when you talk about the oil business, it's a high turnover business. Yeah. And talking about billions, and especially when it comes to the last G2G that was supposed to bring down but that is something that Kenyans also want to hear. Yeah. Let's look at the financial needs in this value chain, because there are people like you, there are people who are bringing us oil. There is the Kenya and Saudi Arabia G2G deal. G2G. Yeah. Mostly, I think it's a wake-up call for all financial institutes like banks, because we've seen trade has not been exploited to the core in terms of facilitating traders within that sector, because all these traders are using instruments of trade, SBLCs, LCs, and all that stuff, which has not been exploited properly within our own banking sectors. Yes. Or even if it has,
it is limited. Yes.
Let's look at the technology that is being used in the sector, and especially when it comes to the distribution value chain. How important and crucial is it?
Come again?
The distribution and the technology.
The technology. Yes. Actually, in the wake up scenario of AI coming in, I foresee scenarios whereby we will not be having people at the depots. So we really need to start challenging ourselves. What next? What are the other diverse storage systems that we can use within the country? We are always focusing on the pipeline and where it's passing through.
Yes.
And for ages, we've always had pipeline storage facilities based only in Mombasa, Nairobi, Nakuru, Eldoret, Kisumu, and that's it. So how do we diversify so that we make sure all these products reach the common end user without any inconveniences? Today, we don't expect to see a lot of trucks on the way, all the way from Nairobi to Garissa, all the way from Nairobi to the mountain region. We have the likes of Nanyuki. We should be having a storage point at that place. We have Mwingi, where we have very massive lands and nothing is happening there. How can we diversify all these? Even Turkana itself, it's drilling, but getting oil from Nairobi to Turkana is quite a handsome job. Yeah.
And we're talking about the distribution itself because we were talking about that is what we should be doing now. The situation now, we are using parts with pipeline and sometimes we're using rail.
Yeah.
How do we transport it from Mombasa port to Uganda? It's still a train, right?
Train is quite costly because most of these products are bulky. And we've seen even Uganda, they had to take their product, pump it all the way from Mombasa to Eldoret. What will happen if Uganda today builds its own storage facility, which I know it's underway? Does it mean our facilities in Eldoret will lie idle? Now we need to start thinking outside what we have been servicing. People like the market share of Congo is opening up. The market share of Rwanda is still opening up. So we still need to see how we can accommodate all these people, because if we keep on not executing the dynamics, we have the likes of Tanzania, they are eyeing that market. So where is our industry dominance when it comes to all these dynamics?
The financial needs still, I'm looking at even companies like you, like Desmond. Oil and energy is a big financial outlay. How are you able to circumvent these financial challenges?
I've said a lot of banks have known that there is a very big need in a lot of sectors, leave alone oil. And we have a lot of, I can say they have come up with a lot of tailor-made financial options for women, and especially women-owned businesses. We have a very big advantage compared to our fellow people, the other gender. When I say this is our brothers. So as women, we have a very bigger market advantage. So actually that is something I would really urge a lot of women to take advantage of. Yes.
I'm also looking at why you'll find, of course there are factors that play out. Where you find fuel products are a bit cheaper in Mombasa. They are quite expensive in Turkana. They are quite expensive in very many parts of northeastern. A little bit expensive, 5, 6, 7, 8 shillings. But we are all Kenyans, you know. How can we bring down the cost to more or less have a uniform pricing when it comes to commodity? Because you're in the distribution value chain, and the more you take fuel away from its source, the more expensive it becomes.
But you see, currently what we have is only the Indian Ocean for us to dock this product. If, say, we would be having a product coming from all the way, maybe from Turkana, still even the market costings wouldn't be the same. There are costings like transport, like pipeline costs, like storage costs. Definitely they would affect the final costing in every region. So I think it's hard to get all this pricing equal at every given point. But I'm sure there are things which are also cheaper here, like getting groceries from Nairobi because we are near the mountain is cheaper compared to groceries gotten to the other end where is cost region. So all these commodities will always vary according to their, depending on their origin. Yeah.
And you have mentioned something very critical. You've talked about women-owned enterprises.
Yes.
And one of the biggest challenges that these women face is the initial capital.
Yes.
And also some of the running capital for the business, as opposed to their male counterpart. How can we bridge this gap to ensure that more women are in the industry itself and not in human resources, or, we need them in the technical aspect?
I think we need a lot of sensitization, because I know a lot of women could be knowing, yes, we have a lot of advantages in terms of financial options, and maybe also the bigger percentage could not be understanding what are these financial options and advantages you're speaking of when it comes to women. Remember, business can be done by the elite, and business can be done even by the people who are not so exposed to education. So how do we bridge this? It's just through sensitization and making sure there are people who perform very well in businesses who are not even well educated. But the systems and dynamics of how you manage and the whole entire ecosystem is what matters. So what I would be advocating for is, can we see a lot of sensitization with this market industry? Yeah.
I remember the head of state, as soon as he took over the reins of power, he mentioned something very emotive to Kenyans and said that in the next couple of months, you will be buying gas, shifting to gas at 300 or 500. Even if it's the gas cylinder itself, that has not happened yet. What is the biggest challenge of bringing the cost of gas down?
You see, you cannot, somehow some promises are erratic. That's how I can put it. Because you cannot peg costings on another country's product. This is not our own generated gas. If we were saying we would be drilling or exploiting our own gas, then we would see what kind of tax subsidies that can be imposed in such a manner that bring down the costing of the whole product itself. But as long as we are importing products which are not explode from our boundaries, then we will have to adhere to their own costings. Yes.
What about the taxation? I would like us to look at that, because just like you began to say that in as much as all the crude oil is brought to the coast of Mombasa, Uganda can pick it from there. They have their own ways that they do, at a fee, of course. And I'm also looking at why is it that you will find that even the prices of gas is quite different in the region? Is it because of the policies or the taxations?
The taxations. The policies are quite minute or a very small percentage in terms of costings, but what makes the whole product expensive are the taxing models. And for some reason, I don't know why experts have not been incorporated in terms of making decisions when it comes to these taxing models. Because some of these taxing models, we never used to have fuel levy tax.
Yes.
And even the taxation that we used to have in fuel used to be 8%. And all these roads were developed and they were done nicely. So what changes have been achieved by putting that, pegging the whole taxing system to 16%? We are still asking ourselves. So if you are collecting double of what we used to have, then we need to see a lot of changes or a lot of execution in terms of the taxing models that you're using. So it is not encouraging having very high tax models, yet we are not feeling where the taxes are being utilized in. Yes.
And we did see a big company that was not quite selling gas or fuel, but it was using, I don't know what to call it, but you know, the company itself, it's cocoa, and it's wound up here in Kenya, just to show you how a bit challenging this industry is. What are some of these challenges that are making some companies come mushroom and then shrivel up within a couple of years? Is it the volatility of some of the things that you're talking about, like taxes?
Yeah, taxes. We have seen taxes pushing out a lot of market players, even within ourselves, the oil industry. We have seen a lot of factories going down because of the taxation models. And if we are not keen, we will end up in a double taxation model, which we are not keen into observing as a country. The market share that Uganda locked out of our country was quite a significant thing. How they allowed it to happen, I still don't know. Was it hard just to give Uganda some taxation relief and we still enjoy their market share? You see, there are things we need to start thinking beyond, and then cooperating market professionals or experts so that they can advise the government accordingly. Because I feel like either the leadership is failing us, and if the government is not incorporating market experts, then they will be failing in their final execution and decisions that will be taken in terms of those market share. Yeah.
All right. You'll be talking about more in regard, and especially I want to know how you guys are going to be surviving, because we went wind, we have geothermal, we have we also have the other one we have in we have wind, geothermal, and which is the other energy that we are using here in the country? Hydro.
Hydro, yeah.
And of course, we are using oil and oil products. How you guys will survive? Because everything now, including vehicles, we are now charging them. Here, somebody asked for a certain charger to charge. Can you help me? I want to charge my car. Just like a widget. How are you guys going to survive? And especially you that you're in the distribution chain. But first things first, let's first of all, my director informs him that we need to cross over to know exactly what other things are happening. Okay. And before we get to that live feed, just to inform you that the Law Society of Kenya are also holding their elections today to elect a new president after the term of the current one did end. We'll also be crossing over, maybe not this hour, but we'll also be crossing over to Wajir and Turkana. We were in Turkana, we were in Tana River and also Kitui, just to have a feel of the drought situation and the mitigation as well. Very well. So you guys, as the you're in the distribution chain.
Yes.
And we have now resorted to a number of green energies, and Kenya is one of the leaders in terms of green energy in the region. How are you preparing for your survival in regards to that? Because
of course, you always have to work ahead of time and plan ahead of time. But funny enough, let me assure you, I don't see diesel exiting the market anytime soon. All these equipments, all these even the exploration site itself will be using diesel to explore the same oil we are speaking of. Yeah. So we are yet to be there. And once, we also need to analyze what are the percentages in terms of the oil deposits that we have worldwide. Are they also ready to let go of these oil deposits? We might say yes, we are able to accommodate any form of change within our country, which is quite a fantastic thing. But the people holding the big percentages in terms of reserves, are they also willing to transition from whatever the old version now to the new version? So for me, I can say we are not yet there as a country. We are not yet there as a world as well. Yeah.
All right, we'll continue this conversation, but first things first, let's first of all cross over to Karen, where my colleague Daniel Wahome is keeping tabs with what is happening in regards to the magical Kenya Open Golf Tournament, one of the biggest in the region. Wahome, good morning and a warm welcome. What more can you tell us in regards to this prestigious golf tournament?
In a house. I know it's bees check, and we have to check a little bit of business, because sports is just about the activity, but it also involves this and how it impacts the country. The 57th edition of the Magical Kenya Open, it's a conversation we're having, and the deep impact it has as sport is growing to become bigger and bigger, and also an opportunity for people to earn employment as professionals in the sport. And to talk about that and the vision that the country has, I'm with the Director General of Kenya Vision 2030, Mr. Kenneth Wigenda. Bwana Mwige, let's just start with a whole look at how the Vision 2030 is looking at sports. And given that, for example, just over the weekend, 72 was in the country. We've got the Magical Kenya Open now, and then after a couple of weeks, it will be the Safari Rally.
Thank you very much. Kenya has taken a very structured approach to sports because sports is a key pillar of the social and economic pillar of Kenya Vision 2030. And in conjunction with the government agencies, we have Talanta Hela because we believe that sports should pay. We believe that young children, young boys, young girls, young people should see sport as a paying profession. So we've been very, very interested in setting up structures because for too long Kenya has been thriving on raw talent. We have raw talent in running, we have raw talent in all sports, but we don't have the supporting structures to make sure that we have a steady pipeline of talent which can perform at the highest level. This is what we did about 4, 5, 6 years ago. We looked at the sports field, the sports scenario, and I realized that Kenya has two or three big international platforms. The first one is this Kenya Open Golf, because it is international, and the viewership of this tournament over the next 4 days, there will be between 500 million to 1 billion people looking and hearing about Kenya. That is priceless, whichever you look at it. The next one is rugby sevens. Raw talent as usual. We are struggling to bring up the structures to make sure that this is a continuous pipeline, but we were able to host as Kenya only last week, Sevens 2, HSBC Sevens Series 2, and we want our Shujaa and our Lionesses to move back to Division 1 where they belong. In about 2, 3, 4 weeks, we'll have the WRC here, World Rally Championship, another billion eyes on Kenya. So sports is big. And it is a big part and a big key pillar of the social and political pillar of Kenya Vision 2030. So we are here today at Karen Country Club enjoying the 57th Kenya Magical Open. We request all Kenyans who are able to come, if you can, come. Expose yourself, expose your child to this sport. If they get interested in this sport, even if they don't take up golf, they will take up another one. And for us as government, Talanta Hela, we are here to make sure that sport pays, because it should pay. And more than that, our sportsmen are ambassadors for this country. They fly our brand to places where we cannot even afford to pay for it ourselves. And finally, we must recognize the role played by Kenya Golf, Kenya Golf Union, the Kenya Ladies Golf Union. We must recognize the sponsors who have come in a very big way. We must recognize the ones who have helped to put in the structures. For example, the Sunshine Development Tour, Charles Gashero and IMG. We must recognize NCBA with their tour. We must recognize the PGK also, Professional Golf Association of Kenya, with their own Equator Tour. So these are the structures we need to strengthen to make sure that we have a steady pipeline of people playing high quality golf every week. And that is why you can find today Njue at number 14 right now. He's 3 under. This is because Kenya Vision 2030, for example, made a deliberate, spotted his talent and made a deliberate investment in him. And it is paying off. So Njue Kibugu is a poster child of what happens when you have structured support for a Kenyan player. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, none of the Kenyan players had sponsors. Kenya Vision 20 stepped in to give in some little money for logistics and everything. We sponsored 15 players, including 2 foreign players. Robson Chinoi, one of the foreign players we sponsored, is now playing the Sunshine Tour and the Asia Tour. Njue Kibugu has broken out. He's now in the Sunshine Tour and is moving up. So this is just an example of what happens when you give structured support to our sportsmen. Njue Kibugu is our poster child for this, and we pray that we should have about 3 to 5 playing over the weekend. That's our prayer. Okay. Thank you very much.
And just one other question is bringing in the private sector. There's a formula that Kenya Vision 2030 has got in mind: 30-70. DG, you could just take us through that formula.
Let me speak to that. Kenya Vision 2030 by design was never a government project. Government was coming in with 30% to lay the infrastructure upon which the private sector can come in with 70%. So even for this golf, what we want is to make sure that the sponsors come in very strong, and we make sure that we have a sustainable tours to make sure that Kenya goes well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kenneth Mwige. He's the Director General, Kenya Vision 2030. So you can see there is a story, and that means it's not all everything about government, like we like to say, serikali saidia, but we can say serikali tupatie nafasi kuendeleza. So, 70%. Well, thank you very much, DG. And so we'll be keeping you updated on the ongoings at the Karen Country Club, where we've got the Magical Kenya Open, the 57th edition. My name is Daniel Ohome. Back to you, Ben Njue.
Thank you, Dan, there live from Karen. Remember the Kenya Magical Open Golf Tournament, as the organizer has talked about, is a global showpiece. We're expecting over 500 million fans to watch that in various parts of the world. Just forgotten, it's not a continental thing. It's an international event that brings about all or many of the elite golfers in Kenya. And of course, the tourism and other factors there that come with hosting such a big event. Just in case you joined us, we're on the tail end of this conversation where we are looking at the energy sector, actually more or less call it servicing the energy sector. And I'm hosting Susan Siombua Kioko, who is an oil and gas consultant at Desman Energies, who are a distribution market player as well. As we wrap up this conversation, I'm also looking at Kenya Pipeline Company. I'm quite sure even those people who do not know about shares, they are listing their shares. Kenya Pipeline Company is in the distribution chain, just like you.
Yeah.
How is it going to impact both economy and also you as one of the value chain?
In terms of their share, in terms of their shares?
Yeah, because of course there will be more money that is being pumped in into the into KPC.
You see, you can be given more funding, but you don't have ways of diversifying it into a profit-making entity. We have just touched on the lost market, Ugandan share. So if KPC, what they get in terms of revenues is from the hospitality that they give the oil importers. What happens now that we are seeing Uganda trying to do their own infrastructure? We are seeing Uganda in the next 10 years, they will be having their own storage, meaning the only revenue we will be getting from Uganda will be the pumping revenue alone, without the hospitality. So if they are ready to diversify the proceeds into a more profitable, dynamic entity, then it will be a good thing. For us, there is nothing affecting us, not unless we have a private investor who will come with their own storage facilities within the country. And you see, with the dynamic change today, anything can happen. You can be a monopoly today, and tomorrow you don't enjoy the monopoly. So they also need to think ahead. Yeah.
And do you believe the margins that we are buying fuel? Let's say a practical example, petrol is about 170 something, about 2-3 shillings each and every time. We're having those reductions, we're having those.
Yeah.
Do these figures represent or reflect what Kenyans should certainly be paying at the pump?
Currently, yes, because there is no option. The whole pact of taxation in terms of duties, the fuel levies, they add to the total, they are so extreme that now they drive the whole cost to a double costing compared to the importation costings. Yeah.
I'm informed we're almost running out of time, but I'm going to give you a minute or two for your closing statements, especially when it comes to the distribution chain and what more needs to be done, including some of the challenges that you guys are facing that can be checked and bring some relief into the energy sector.
The energy sector is facing a dynamic change currently from the OMCs who used to monopolize our market. So I think it is high time we need to see our own local companies growing and expanding to give more leeway to our young people to explore that industry. Unlike the OMCs who used to monopolize the market, they were internationally regularized. So how do we accommodate our own bred local companies into making entrance even into other countries like Congo, Rwanda, we are speaking of Zambia. So how do we grow them without letting these markets get occupied by the international OMCs that have had a very big market share in our own country? So I hope to see growth in that direction, and I'm hoping to see soon more entrants in terms of women into the same industry. Yeah.
And I'm hoping also as distributors you're also adapting to the changes that we do expect, because a lot of people and a lot of countries are turning on to green energy.
Yeah.
But as I always say, we cannot wish away the fossil fuels. We'll be here for a number of decades as well. But we are also looking at clean and reliable energy. I'll be speaking to Susan Siombua Kioko, who is an oil and gas consultant at Desman Energies, who are one of the distributors, or one of the value chains distributors in regards to oil here in the country. We've been looking at servicing the energy sector and how even women can play a more critical role in ensuring that we are in this industry together and there is more participation. 15% is a little bit on the lower side. Many thanks indeed for joining us since we began at 10 a.m. Many thanks. And we are now giving the baton to the Swahili desk for Kurunzi and Tamrini. My name is Njue. Lucy Maura has been my colleague on the sign language interpretation. See you some other time.
To marry kids?
When did I start?
When did you start to marry kids?
I don't marry kids. I marry mature women.
Who brought you that my daughter?
Who brought you that my daughter?
Hey, who brought you? Wewe ndio unajifanya vile unachua sana.
Sijifanyi.
Wewe ni pipi yangu.
Arda. Bana.
Polisi wewe ni pipi yangu.
Mimi siwezi kuwa bibi yako.
Very good. Kuna mtoto yako tulipeana.
Si ni wewe ulikula deposit ya mtoto.
Si wewe na hiyo mtomo yako ukiniambia tuoze huu mtoto tupate pesa.
Mimi saa ngapi?
Kawena.
Mwezi mimi wangu atarake muntoke ngakiringangu.
Wewe mzee, mko na watoto wangapi? Wewe na huyu bibi yako.
Mwezi mtuko na watoto nani?
Every day, 60